Well, welcome back, Blade Gang. I have a new and interesting knife once again today, and we're rolling back into fixed blade territory. And not only that, but back into point down edge in Pikal or Elvia territory. Specialty purpose built tactical fixed blades and folders that are meant to be used in the martial blade context of point down. So whether that's the Ed's Manifesto, Ed Calderon's style of blade work, or whether it's the wide-ranging Filipino Kali, Eskrima, Arnis styles that like to use the point down, jabbing motion, clawing, what have you. This is the knife that's built for this purpose, and it's not going to be your everyday EDC, although it could probably substitute in for that purpose. So we have a Dirk, please don't say Dink, we have a Dirk Pinkerton knife, probably not the first time somebody's done that to him. It is a custom knife. It was ordered up by me from some blanks that he had already ground, and I told him kind of how I wanted the handle to be and whether it should be single or double edged. Went single edge on this one. I'll show you another one from a month or so ago that is double edged. It's called the Smilodon after the Sabertooth Tiger, and if you look at the thumbnail you can see a little graphic of a Sabertooth Tiger. Meant to kind of look like either a claw or that tiger's fang. Real interesting. And I love the treatment on this that he did of the multi-layered G10, kind of a black and gray, and the bird's beak pommel. Bird's beak pommel, let's back out a little. Bird's beak pommel purpose is to keep the handle captured in your hand. So you've got to stop there and you got to stop there. So your fingers, your four fingers, lie right in that trench that is created by them. I think we need even a little more room. There we go. You can cap the top very nicely with your thumb. It's just about made for it. And deliver a lot of force downward and then inward. So you have an arcing and pulling motion. Can be used to trap the, I'm going to sacrifice my hand here, trap the hand. Don't want to get too close because this is one sharp knife. And this particular one is from Elmax. I have an earlier one from CTS XHP. This handle is perfect for me, absolutely perfect. About a 3.5 inch blade that is just, I think, as I say, again, screaming sharp. Dirk does a fantastic job on his wheel with his brush satin finishes. Notice that the grind on the blade goes vertically and the flat goes horizontally. You can see those really nice brush marks. What they call a belt satin finish. There's Dirk's moniker, his trademark, logo, and Elmax on the other side. So being that it's not a commercial knife, it's not heavily branded, and that's usually the case with custom knives. I'm going to jump into some measurements real quick. May or may not be interested, but we'll try to get them out of the way quickly. About a 7.5 inch overall knife, a little more than that maybe. And about a 3.4 inch blade. And a blade stock in millimeters, not terribly thick. Call it a 3.2. Oh, let's leave it out for a handle measurement. It's a contoured handle. Try to get it right in the middle. 0.64. So as you can see, that's nicely rounded, no sharp edges. Finally, let's get a weight. And here we go. 5 ounces, 5.096 to be specific. Call that 5 ounces. Had some earlier problems with audio. Hopefully this video comes out clean as far as the audio goes. So basically this is my second time around trying to create this video. Hoping it will turn out well for your eyes and your ears. You can see we've got the handles attached with Torx, and without testing that out, I'm going to guess that that's probably like a T10, T12 in that range there. Pretty good size. So although I haven't tried taking them off, they certainly look like they could be removable, or it could be adhered with epoxy. I am not sure, but I like them. I'm not taking them off. No further mods to this blade. That being said, it does come with a sheath. A very nice Kydex sheath, and Dirk likes to clamshell the handle for these Smilodons, so you can see that that is beautifully formed to the handle and actually hangs onto that screw hole there, that indent. There is virtually no rattle. Well, I'll get a little bit. But unless you need to sneak up on somebody, I think you'll be okay. You'd really have to work to get it to rattle. It holds it very firmly. You could, if you wanted to, it's a little on the heavier side, you could neck knife it, but you could drop this in the pocket as it is. Dirk does not supply clips or straps or any belt mounting hardware. That's not a bad thing because his customers like to supply their own attachments, and if he gives you an attachment and you don't use it, then you're going to be pulling that off of there anyway. So you can use a belt loop on this. You could use a tech lock. You could use a what do they call them, ulti-clip, set up nicely for an ulti-clip. Your choice. Or drop it in the pocket. Put a static cord here, tie the static cord to your belt. When you pull it out, static cord at the very end holds onto the sheath, and voila, you have the knife in your hand. And of course, you generally want to withdraw it this way, but this knife is not adverse to being used this way because many of the collie moves will throw the thrusts in this position through a circle, all right, this way or this way, and then point down. We're going this way. We're also flicking and jabbing with a point. So this works for all of that. Won't get too deep into the tactical use of the knife. We're talking more about the end product here. Let's take a look at another Smilodon that I got some months back, also custom made by Dirk, and it is in CTS XHP, another premium steel, and you can see it's maybe an inch and a quarter long, shorter overall, and it has a textured G10 handle, flat, and I like it, but it's very minimalist in the handle. Just enough, but you've got a built-in stop there, a built-in guard. Your fingers aren't going to slide onto the blade. And although your palm comes close, as long as there's no slippage and you got that capped, it's staying in your hand. And of course, depends upon how hard an object you're hitting with it. This one can see some EDC use because you've got a belly on the blade on one side, you got the claw on the other. And Dirk has designed something for Kaiser called the inversion, which is a folding knife that looks similar to this blade style. Now let's show you one more. Oops. That's designed for Pikal use. And here is the Drog by Rib Splitter Knives. That is an interesting one. What I like about it is the handle. I like that it's got good ergos and it's contoured. But the tip points back a bit, so the approach has to be high and cock the wrist back just a little bit in order to present that point. Personally, for my use, I like these just a bit better. That doesn't make the Drog a bad knife, and it depends upon how you are employing it. So, Smilodon Hybrid, Smilodon Standard, and the Drog by Rib Splitter. Drog comes in a nice Kydex sheath with a horizontal leather belt loop and it's a little difficult because of that hook, getting it exactly into the sheath. Okay, let's remove that guy, and then just for some comparison, how big is it next to a Griptilian? Griptilian's actually a little bit bigger. Put it in the proper orientation. So you can see 7.5 inches, this is not a large knife. I would call it a small fixed blade, but a small fixed blade with a full-size handle, which is really neat. And when you grab it, you can feel the power that's in your hand, in that blade, in being able to drive it and use it tactically. Can't really put your thumb there. I wouldn't even try, because you got that edge coming right up there at the right to the end of the plunge grind. Yeah, you probably need a ceramic rod to sharpen this with, but how dull is it going to get unless you are hitting targets with it and practicing, which we should, if the purpose of the knife is self-protection. So there you have the Smilodon Hybrid. It's hybrid because Dirk used a handle from one model of his knives with the Smilodon blade, and I can't recall right now which other model he took that handle from, but if you have some of Dirk's knives, you probably know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. We'll be back with you real soon.